Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel Security Bit. Today is episode 3 of my not very boring CISSP course. In this episode, we will be learning about security concepts. What if I told you the foundation of everything related to information or cybersecurity relies on just 5 simple concepts? That's it. Most of the attacks, breaches that happen often target these 5 core principles. These are the 5 pillars of information security, and how these 5 are applied can either make or break security. So grab your popcorn and let's take a quick look at them. Cats in Antarctica always snap. There you go. 5 principles. No, I'm just kidding. So, cats in Antarctica always snap is just an easy way for you to remember these 5 core principles, the foundations of information security: confidentiality, integrity, availability, authentication, and non-repudiation. By end of this video, you will be familiar with these 5 principles and will be able to better relate to real life examples. Alright, let's get started. Number 1. Let me share something with you today. Often I feel both negative and positive emotions, and I write all of that in a diary. Now, everything in that diary is very personal. It's like a top secret, and I do not want anybody reading my diary. What I do is I lock my diary with a key, and that key is securely kept somewhere, and that key is only accessible to me. Now, what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to protect my confidential information, and I'm making sure that only I have access to this information. In the real world, let's say if you become a cloud security engineer and you notice that there are certain confidential files, right? And these confidential files are only accessible to the CEO of the company. And these confidential files are actually hosted or stored in a database in AWS cloud. So what will you apply? What security measure you will apply? You will ensure that this database in AWS cloud is not accessible to your IT analyst, because this is only available for the CEO, only accessible for the CEO. Therefore, ensuring information is accessible only to those who are allowed or authorized to access it is confidentiality. Now, let's look at number 2. Let me share another incident with you. My mom makes amazing chocolate cake, and she has a recipe for it, which she has documented on a paper. I asked my brother to fetch that paper for me, and he played a prank by modifying some of the ingredients on the list and brought that paper to me. I followed what was written on the paper, and my cake turned out so bad. That was because my brother tampered with that recipe. That was just a recipe. What if somebody packs any software that you're about to download with nasty stuff? How will you validate if that is indeed authentic, which has been published by the vendor? Let me show you something. Right, I just downloaded Visual Studio Code, which is like a code editor for developers. And before I install it, I want to make sure this file is legit. How? I will verify its hash, basically check its fingerprint to confirm it hasn't been tampered with. First, I grab the hash value from the official website. It's right here, this long string of characters. Now, let's see if the file I downloaded matches. Now I run this command and boom, it calculates the hash of my downloaded file. Now for the big reveal. Let's see if the hashes match. I just checked and I compared the 2 hashes. They match. That means this file is authentic, untampered, and safe to install. And just like that, I have verified the integrity of my download. Quick, simple, and totally worth it. Here's a bonus tip. You can also verify a file's digital signature. We'll talk about digital signature probably in detail in another video. But for now, if you right click on the installer, you select properties and you go to the digital signatures tab. If you see a valid signature, it means that the file was signed by the original vendor and hasn't been altered. It's also another good way to confirm the file integrity and authenticity. And just like that, you have taken 2 simple steps to ensure that your download is safe. Right? Integrity is ensuring the data remains accurate and unaltered during the storage, transmission, or processing. Time for number 3. Imagine you're starving and order a pizza. You wait and wait, but it takes so long that you fall asleep hungry. Frustrating, right? Now think about Netflix. You're watching your favorite show and suddenly buffering. Annoying, isn't it? But it rarely happens because Netflix ensures availability. They use failovers and data centers and networks to make sure data streams smoothly whenever you want. Availability is all about ensuring systems and data are ready when needed, whether it's pizza delivery, streaming Netflix, or securing systems. Availability ensures that no one is left waiting. Alright, looking at number 4. Imagine you're all set to attend a famous singer's concert. You're excited, but as you reach the entrance, a security guard stops you. They ask for 2 things: your registration ID, that is a proof that you have a ticket to the concert, and your identity card, a proof that you are indeed you. Only when both check out, you are allowed in. This process is just like logging into a system in the digital world. When you log in, you provide your username and password similar to your registration ID. And sometimes you're asked for a second factor as well, like a code sent to your phone or app, just like showing your ID at the concert. This process is called authentication, verifying the identity of users. It's how systems confirm that you are who you claim to be before you're granted access, just like the security guard does at the concert. Last but not the least, imagine a delivery guy shows up at your door with an expensive parcel, of course, which you ordered. Before handing it over, he asks you to sign it. By signing, you are confirming 2 things: that you have received the parcel and you can't later deny having received it. In the digital world, this is like sending an email with a digital signature. When someone digitally signs an email, it proves that email truly came from them and they cannot deny having sent it. This concept is called non-repudiation. It ensures that a party does not deny having performed a specific action. Right, with that, we covered the 5 concepts, and it is very important to note that there is something called CIA triad, and that comprises of confidentiality, integrity, and availability. And on that note, I want to let you know that we have just covered 1.2 of our CISSP course outline. There's a small homework for you. Research on these 5, understand these topics. I will add few blogs and resource links in the description. Check them out. Learning is fun. Subscribe.